Big stories and what's behind them. Politics, business, sports, and international.
Hello there. This is the World News at 12 on Voice of the People 96.1 FM. My name is Chinwe Blessing, and these are the top stories. CBN unifies foreign exchange rate windows. INEC chairman to appear in court June 15. Suspended EFCC chairman in DSS custody. On the foreign scene, Boris Johnson deliberately misled members of parliament over COVID parties. And in the world of sports, Nigerian defender Ndubuisi faces Broncos test in off-season. Details now. The Central Bank of Nigeria has abolished segmentation in the management of foreign exchange. In a statement, the Apex Bank said all segments are now collapsed into the single investors and exporters window. The move is seen as compliance to the President Bola Tinubu's inaugural speech, which indicated the desire to get rid of multiple foreign exchange windows and achieve convergence of rates. The statement also announced the reintroduction of a willing buyer, willing seller model at the foreign exchange window in a move seen as floating the naira. It is added that the operational rate for all government-related transactions shall be weighed average of the preceding day executed transactions at the investors and exporters window. The Chairman, Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Yakubu Mahmood, will today appear before the Presidential Election Petition Court sitting in Abuja to give evidence in the petition filed by the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Atiku Abubakar, challenging the declaration of Bola Tinubu as president. Recall that during Tuesday's proceedings, counsel for the petitioner, Chief Chris Uche, announced to the court that the INEC chairman would testify on the conduct of the presidential election and also tender some sensitive documents in aid of the presidential candidate of the PDP. He called his first witness Alex Ter, a legal practitioner and former Attorney General of Benue State, who alleged that the presidential election was marred with a lot of irregularities and non-compliance with the Electoral Act 2022. Suspended Chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Abdul Rashid Bawa, has been invited by the Department of State Services. On its social handle, the DSS said the invitation refers to investigative activity involving him, but provided no further explanation. President Bola Tinubu yesterday approved the indefinite suspension from office of Bawa as the chairman of the EFCC to allow for proper investigation into his conduct while in office. Bawa was directed to immediately hand over to the Director Operations in the Commission, who will oversee the affairs of the office of the chairman pending the conclusion of the investigation. On the foreign scene, a United Kingdom Parliament committee today ruled that Boris Johnson deliberately misled Member of Parliament over COVID lockdown breaking parties in Downing Street when he was Prime Minister. The Cross-Party Privilege Committee said Johnson, 58, would have been suspended as a Member of Parliament for 90 days for repeated contempt and for seeking to undermine the parliamentary process. He was unrepentant again, accusing the committee of being anti-democratic to bring about what is intended to be the final knife thrust with a protracted political assassination. The committee's long-awaited 106-page report was even more critical than expected, particularly in relation to the sanctions it would have recommended. Members of Parliament ordinarily have to vote on the committee's recommendations, with any suspension over 10 days potentially triggering a recall by election in the offender's constituency. And now to sports. Nigerian defensive linesman Chisom Ndubuisi will be tested during the Denver Broncos training camp this summer. Earlier in the off-season, the NFL allocated Ndubuisi to the Denver Broncos as part of the NFL's International Player Pathway Program. As a part of the program, the 22-year-old Nigerian lineman will not count towards the 90-man off-season roster limit this summer. Head coach Sean Payton said after organized team activities wrapped up last week that Ndubuisi looked good so far, but his real opportunity will come during the training camp. To wrap up, these are the top stories once again. CBN unifies foreign exchange rate windows. An INEC chairman to appear in court on June 15th. Suspended EFCC chairman in DSS custody. On the foreign scene, we told you that Boris Johnson deliberately misled members of parliament over COVID parties. In the world of sports, Nigerian defender Ndubuisi faces Broncos test in off-season. And that is the world news at 12. The news was compiled and edited by Esther Nwachukwu and produced by Imona Franklin. My name is Chinwe Blessing. Good afternoon.